I woke up at 5:30 that Tuesday morning, same as I had for the past 40 years. The house on Westwood Avenue was quiet, too quiet since Margaret passed 3 years ago. I made coffee in the percolator she'd bought at a garage sale in 1987, the one I'd sworn I'd replace, but never did. Some mornings the familiar gurgle was the only thing that kept me company. Christina's flight to Phoenix was at 11. She'd been staying with me for 2 weeks, said she needed to clear her head after her second divorce. Travis had been a mistake. I'd known it when she married him, but you don't tell a 34-year-old woman what to do with her life. You just watch and pray she finds her way. I heard LaToya's key in the front door at 6:15, right on schedule. She'd been cleaning for me since 2010, when her youngest started high school. A sturdy woman with graying temples and hands that never stopped moving. She had a way of seeing through people that unnerved me sometimes. "Morning, Mr. Dennis," she called from the entryway. "Coffee smells good." "Help yourself," I said, pulling eggs from the refrigerator. "Christina's still asleep. Flight's not till 11. LaToya didn't respond right away. I heard her putting her purse in the hall closet, the same spot she always used. When she came into the kitchen, her face was tight. "Mr. Dennis, I need to tell you something." I cracked an egg into the pan. "What's that?" "Yesterday, when I was vacuuming upstairs, I saw something under Christina's bed." I turned to look at her. LaToya wasn't one for gossip or drama. If she was bringing something to me, it mattered. "What did you see?" She folded her arms across her chest. "A duffel bag, a big one. Looked heavy. And I saw the corner of something. Looked like your wife's jewelry box, the rosewood one." My hand froze on the spatula. "You sure?" "I'm sure." Her eyes were sad. "Mr. Dennis, before you take her to the airport, you need to look." I wanted to tell her she was mistaken. Christina wouldn't do that. Not my daughter. Not the girl who used to make me Father's Day cards out of construction paper and glitter. But something in LaToya's voice told me she wasn't wrong. "I'll check," I said quietly. "I'll finish breakfast," LaToya said, taking the spatula from my hand. "You go on." The stairs felt steeper than usual. I stood outside Christina's bedroom door, her childhood room, still decorated with posters from bands I'd never understood, and a bulletin board covered in faded photos. The door was cracked open. I could hear her breathing, slow and steady. I knelt beside the bed, my knees protesting. The duffel bag was there, shoved far back against the wall. I pulled it out. It was heavier than it should have been for a week-long trip. I unzipped it. Margaret's jewelry box sat on top, the rosewood one her mother had given her. Inside it were the pearl necklace I'd saved 3 months to buy for our 20th anniversary, the diamond earrings she wore on our wedding day, the sapphire ring that had belonged to my grandmother. Beneath the jewelry box, a manila envelope stuffed with stock certificates. My father's shares in a small manufacturing company in Akron, the ones he'd left me when he died in 1999. I'd been planning to pass them to Kayla, my 9-year-old granddaughter, when she turned 18. My checkbook, the one from our joint account. Bundles of cash, held together with rubber bands. I counted quickly. Had to be close to $40,000. Money I'd been setting aside from my pension for Kayla's college fund. And at the very bottom, the deed to the cottage on Lake Erie, the place where Margaret and I had spent every summer for 30 years. My chest tightened, the room tilted. I sat back against the wall, the duffel bag open in front of me like evidence at a crime scene. This wasn't a mistake. This wasn't Christina being careless. This was planned, calculated. She was going to Phoenix with everything, and she wasn't coming back. I don't know how long I sat there. Long enough for my knees to go numb. Long enough for the anger to rise up hot and fierce in my throat, then settle into something colder. When I finally stood, Christina was awake. I could hear her in the bathroom, humming something while the shower ran. I carried the duffel bag downstairs. LaToya was at the kitchen table, hands wrapped around a coffee mug, waiting. "You were right," I said. She closed her eyes. "I'm sorry, Mr. Dennis." "Don't be. You did the right thing." I set the bag on the floor and sat down across from her. The eggs she'd made were getting cold on a plate, but I couldn't eat. "What are you going to do?" LaToya asked. That was the question, wasn't it? What was I going to do? I could call the police. This was theft. She'd taken legal documents, family heirlooms, cash. They'd arrest her at the airport. I could throw her out right now, tell her never to come back. I could pretend I hadn't seen anything, drive her to the airport and let her go. But none of those felt right. I thought about the sermon I'd heard on Sunday, about the father who welcomed his son home even after the boy had wasted everything, about grace, about consequences, about how love doesn't mean letting someone destroy themselves. "I'm going to talk to her," I said. Christina came downstairs 20 minutes later, hair wet, wearing jeans and a sweater I'd bought her last Christmas. She looked younger than 36, looked like she hadn't slept well. "Morning, Dad," she said, pouring herself coffee. "What time do we need to leave?" "Sit down, Christina." Something in my voice made her turn. She saw the duffel bag on the floor. The color drained from her face. "Dad, sit down." She sat. I pulled the jewelry box out of the bag and set it on the table between us, then the envelope with the stock certificates, the checkbook, the cash, the deed. "You want to explain this?" I asked. Her hands were shaking. She wrapped them around her coffee mug like she was trying to keep warm. "I can explain," she whispered. "Go ahead." She stared at the table. "I'm in trouble, Dad. Bad trouble. I owe people money. A lot of money." "How much?" $180,000. I felt like I'd been punched. "How?" "Credit cards, loans. Travis took everything in the divorce and I made bad decisions. I invested in this business opportunity that turned out to be a scam, and then I tried to fix it by..." Her voice broke. "I'm drowning, Dad. They're threatening to sue me. I could lose everything. I could go to jail." "So you decided to steal from me instead?" "I wasn't stealing." Her eyes flashed. "You're my father. This stuff, it'll all be mine someday anyway, right? I just need it now. I was going to pay you back." "With what money, Christina? You don't have a job. You haven't worked in 3 years. I'll get one in Phoenix. I'll start over." "By running away with my dead wife's jewelry, my father's legacy, your daughter's college fund?" She started crying. "You don't understand. You've never understood. You have this house, your pension, everything you need. I have nothing. Nothing." I looked at my daughter, really looked at her, and saw someone I didn't recognize. Someone who'd convinced herself that desperation justified betrayal. That need erased right and wrong. I thought about Margaret. What would she say? What would she do? Then I thought about Kayla, sweet Kayla with her gap-toothed smile, living in Phoenix with Christina's ex-husband because the courts had decided her mother was unstable. "I forgive you," I said. Christina's head snapped up. "What?" "I forgive you. I'm not calling the police. I'm not going to make this worse than it already is." Relief flooded her face. "Dad, thank you. Thank you so much. I promise I'll..." "But you're not taking any of this." The relief died. "And you're still going to Phoenix, with nothing but what you've earned yourself." "Dad, please." "I'm putting everything you tried to take into a trust for Kayla. The stocks, the cottage, the money, all of it. When she turns 18, she'll have what she needs. What you should have been building for her instead of stealing for yourself." Christina stood up so fast her chair fell backward. "You can't do that. That's my inheritance." "No," I said quietly. "It's not anymore. You made your choice when you packed that bag. You said you forgave me." "I do, but forgiveness doesn't mean there aren't consequences, Christina. It means I'm not going to hate you for this. It means I'm still going to love you, but I won't enable you to keep destroying yourself." She grabbed her purse from the counter. Fine, I'll figure it out myself. I always do." "I'm still taking you to the airport," I said. "And I already paid for your ticket, one way like you wanted." She stared at me, tears streaming down her face. "I hate you." "I know," I said, "but I'm still your father." We drove to Cleveland Hopkins International in silence. LaToya had packed Christina a small suitcase. Clothes, toiletries. Nothing more. No jewelry, no documents, no stolen future. I pulled up to the departure terminal at 10:15. Christina got out without looking at me. "Christina," she turned, hand on the door. "When you're ready to do the work, real work, not shortcuts, call me. I'll help you, but I won't rescue you from consequences you've earned." She slammed the door. I watched her walk into the terminal, shoulders hunched, dragging the small suitcase behind her. Part of me wanted to run after her, to fix everything like I'd fixed scraped knees and broken toys when she was small. But she wasn't small anymore. I was pulling away from the curb when my phone rang. Unknown number. "Mr. Dennis Fletcher?" A woman's voice, professional. "Speaking." "This is Veronica Chen from Phoenix Family Services. I'm calling about your granddaughter, Kayla. There's been an incident, and we need you to..." The line went dead. I tried calling back. It went straight to voicemail. My hands tightened on the steering wheel. Kayla. Something had happened to Kayla, and Christina was on her way there right now with nothing to lose. I called the number back 6 times while sitting in airport parking. Voicemail every time. My heart was hammering against my ribs, the kind of pounding that made me think about the heart attack my brother had at 65. I tried Travis, Christina's ex-husband. No answer. I tried the main number for Phoenix Family Services, an automated system that led nowhere. Something was wrong with Kayla, and I was 2,000 miles away. I did something I hadn't done in years. I bought a plane ticket on my phone. The next flight to Phoenix, leaving in 90 minutes. $800 I didn't have budgeted. I didn't care. I called LaToya from the terminal. "It's Kayla," I said. "Something happened. I'm flying out there." "Oh Lord," she breathed. "What do you need?" "Lock up the house. Check on it while I'm gone. And pray." "Already am, Mr. Dennis. Already am." The flight felt like it lasted days. I sat in a middle seat between a college kid who slept the whole way and a businessman who typed furiously on his laptop. I stared at the seat back in front of me and tried not to imagine the worst. Kayla was 9 years old. Brown hair, freckles, loved horses, and Harry Potter books. She'd been living with Travis in Phoenix since the divorce, since the judge decided Christina was unfit. I'd visited twice, seen the small apartment Travis rented in Tempe, met his girlfriend Hannah, a kindergarten teacher who seemed genuinely kind to Kayla. The last time I talked to Kayla was Sunday. She'd called to tell me about a spelling bee she'd won at school. She'd sounded happy. Now someone from Family Services was calling me about an incident. I tried Travis again from the Phoenix airport. This time he answered. "Dennis." His voice was tight. "I was about to call you." "What happened?" "I got a call from someone named Veronica Chen, said there was an incident with Kayla." "She's okay," Travis said quickly. "She's not hurt, but Dennis, there's a situation. Can you come to the apartment? We need to talk in person." "I'm already here. Just landed." A pause. "You're in Phoenix? Give me the address again. I'm getting a cab." Travis lived in a complex off-rural road, one of those stucco buildings with a pool nobody used and desert landscaping that always looked half dead. I knocked on apartment 2C at 4:30, my shirt damp with sweat from the Arizona heat. Travis opened the door. He was 38, lean, with the kind of exhausted look that comes from single parenting. Behind him, I could see Kayla on the couch, hugging a stuffed horse, eyes red from crying. "Grandpa!" She ran to me, and I caught her, my knees protesting as I knelt down. "Hey, sweetheart, you okay?" She nodded against my shoulder, but I could feel her shaking. Travis gestured me inside. Hannah was in the kitchen, arms crossed, looking shaken. A woman I didn't recognize sat in an armchair, Asian, mid-40s, with a briefcase at her feet. She stood when I entered. "Mr. Fletcher, I'm Veronica Chen, Child Protective Services." She extended her hand. "I'm sorry we couldn't connect earlier. Cell reception issues." "What's going on?" I looked from her to Travis. "What happened?" Travis ran a hand through his hair. "Christina showed up here this morning, around 10. I didn't even know she was coming to Phoenix." My stomach dropped. "She was supposed to land at noon." "Must have caught an earlier flight," Travis said. "She came to the door, demanded to see Kayla. I told her no. The custody agreement says supervised visits only, and she didn't schedule anything. She started screaming at me, saying I'd turned Kayla against her, that I'd stolen her daughter." Hannah spoke up, her voice quiet. "Kayla heard everything. She got scared. Your daughter—" She stopped, choosing words carefully. "Christina tried to force her way in. Kayla locked herself in her bedroom. That's when I called 911. "The police came," Travis continued. "They escorted Christina out. She was erratic, talking about how she had nothing left, how everyone had abandoned her. The officers were concerned enough to call CPS." Veronica Chen opened her briefcase. "Mr. Fletcher, I'm required to investigate any situation that might endanger a child's welfare. Your daughter made some troubling statements to the responding officers. She indicated she was in significant financial distress and made vague references to harming herself." The room tilted. "Where is she now?" "She left before we arrived. We don't know." I looked at Kayla, still clinging to my side. "Baby, did your mom say anything to you?" Kayla's voice was tiny. "She said she was sorry. She said she messed everything up and didn't know how to fix it." She looked up at me with Margaret's eyes. "Grandpa, is Mom going to be okay?" I didn't know how to answer that. Veronica Chen asked me questions for the next hour about Christina's mental health history, her financial situation, whether I'd observed suicidal ideation. I told her the truth, that Christina was drowning in debt, that she'd tried to steal from me this morning, that I'd sent her to Phoenix with nothing but a plane ticket and tough love. When I said it out loud, it sounded cruel. I thought I was helping her, I said quietly. Thought she needed to hit bottom before she'd climb back up. Veronica's expression didn't change. Mr. Fletcher, I'm going to be honest with you. If your daughter's having a mental health crisis and we can't locate her, this becomes very serious. Travis has full custody, but if Christina is determined to take Kayla, she won't, Travis said. Christina might be a lot of things, but she wouldn't kidnap her own daughter. People in crisis do unpredictable things, Veronica said gently. I thought about the look on Christina's face when she slammed the car door at the airport, the hate in her eyes, the desperation. My phone buzzed. Unknown number, Phoenix area code, I answered. Hello? Silence, then breathing. Christina? Hi, Dad. Her voice sounded hollow, distant. Where are you? Doesn't matter. Christina, people are worried about you. Come to Travis's apartment. We can talk. I don't want to talk. A bitter laugh. You know what's funny? I got here and realized I have nowhere to go. No friends, no money, can't even afford a hotel room. I'm sitting in a parking lot outside a Walmart and I've got nothing. You were right, I've got nothing. Then come here, we'll figure it out. I went to see Kayla. Did Travis tell you? I just wanted to see my baby girl, and she was scared of me. Her voice cracked. My own daughter was scared of me. Christina, listen to me. You said there were consequences. You were right about that too. I'm living them. Where are you exactly? I'll come get you. No. Firmer now. I called to tell you something. I called to say, I'm sorry. For everything. For the lying and the stealing and the mess I made of my life. I'm sorry I disappointed you. My throat tightened. You don't have to do this alone. Yeah, I do. That's what you said, isn't it? That I had to do the work myself? I said I'd help you when you were ready to do the work. I didn't say you had to do it alone. A long silence. Christina, talk to me. What are you thinking right now? I'm thinking maybe everyone would be better off if I wasn't around to mess things up anymore. The words hit me like ice water. Don't say that. Don't even think it. Why not? It's true. It's not true. Kayla needs her mother. Kayla has Hannah. She doesn't need me. I need you, I said, and realized I meant it. You're my daughter. I love you. Whatever you've done, whatever mistakes you've made, I love you. You forgive me, but you don't trust me. You took away my inheritance. You sent me here with nothing. Because you needed to learn you can't run from problems. But I never said you were alone. I'm here, Christina. I flew out here because I was worried about you. Another silence. When she spoke again, her voice was small. You're in Phoenix? I'm at Travis's apartment right now. Come here, please. I can't face them. I can't face what I did. Yes, you can. It won't be easy, but you can, and I'll be right there with you. I heard her crying, real deep sobs that made my chest ache. Tell me where you are, I said softly. Let me come get you. She was at a Walmart on Southern Avenue, sitting in her rental car, a car she'd apparently put on a credit card that was already maxed out. I found her in the far corner of the lot, forehead resting on the steering wheel. I tapped on the window. She looked up, face blotchy and swollen, and unlocked the door. I slid into the passenger seat. We sat in silence for a long moment, the Arizona sun beating down on the windshield. I really messed up, she finally said. Yeah, you did. I don't know how to fix it. One step at a time, I said. First step, you come back to the apartment. You apologize to Kayla. Not with excuses, just a real apology. She won't want to see me. She's 9 years old, and she loves her mother. She'll want to see you. Christina wiped her eyes. Then what? Then we figure out the next step. Maybe that's getting you into counseling. Maybe it's bankruptcy, dealing with your debts legally instead of running from them. Maybe it's finding you a job, a place to stay, helping you build something real. Why would you help me after what I did? I looked at my daughter, really looked at her. I saw Margaret's nose, my mother's stubborn chin, a whole family history written in her face, and I saw a woman who'd lost her way but could still find it again. Because that's what fathers do, I said. We don't give up on our kids, even when they give up on themselves. The conversation at Travis's apartment was one of the hardest things I'd ever sat through. Kayla cried. Christina cried. Travis stayed stony-faced but civil. Hannah made coffee, nobody drank. Veronica Chen took notes and asked careful questions. Christina apologized. No excuses, no justifications. Just, "I'm sorry I scared you. I'm sorry I haven't been the mom you deserve." Kayla asked, "Are you going to get better?" And Christina said, "I'm going to try." It wasn't a miracle, it wasn't a happy ending, but it was honest. Veronica pulled me aside before she left. "Your daughter needs professional help. Therapy, financial counseling, possibly medication. If you're serious about helping her, that has to be the priority. I understand. And Mr. Fletcher, what you did this morning, forcing her to face consequences, that wasn't cruel. Sometimes love looks like letting people fall, but you came when she needed you. That matters." I stayed in Phoenix for a week. I helped Christina find a therapist who took Medicaid. I went with her to a bankruptcy attorney, a guy named Nathaniel, who had kind eyes and 20 years of experience. He laid out a plan. Chapter 7, bankruptcy, debt discharge, a path to start over legally. "It'll wreck your credit for years," he said, "but you'll be free of the debt, clean slate." Christina looked at me. "Is that okay? Can I do that?" "It's your decision," I said. "But yeah, I think it's the right choice." I also helped her find a job, nothing glamorous, just a position at a nonprofit called Second Chance Services, helping other people navigate debt and homelessness. 30 hours a week, minimum wage, but it was something. "They hired me even with my background?" Christina asked, stunned. The director, a woman named Tara with silver hair and laugh lines, smiled. "We believe in redemption here. Everyone deserves a second chance." Travis agreed to let Christina see Kayla twice a week, supervise visits at first. Hannah volunteered to supervise, which surprised me. When I thanked her, she shrugged. Kayla loves her mom. If Christina's really trying to change, Kayla deserves to see that. On my last night in Phoenix, Christina and I sat on the balcony of the extended stay hotel where I'd been sleeping. The desert stretched out in front of us, purple and gold in the sunset. "I'm still going to put everything in a trust for Kayla," I said. "The stocks, the cottage, the money, that doesn't change." Christina nodded. "I understand. I don't deserve it anyway. But I'm adding something to the trust. A clause that says if you stay in therapy for 2 years, stay employed, and rebuild your relationship with Kayla, you'll be named as co-trustee. You'll have a say in how it's managed for her." She looked at me, eyes wide. "Why would you do that?" "Because I believe you can change. And because trust isn't just given, it's earned. So earn it." She was quiet for a long time, then, "I will, I promise." "Don't promise me," I said. "Promise yourself and promise Kayla." I flew home to Cleveland on a Sunday morning. LaToya picked me up from the airport, took one look at me and said, "You look like you've been through the ringer." "Feel like it too." "How is she?" "Getting there, long road ahead." LaToya nodded. "Long roads are better than short falls." The house felt empty when I walked in. I stood in the kitchen, where this had all started, where I'd sat across from Christina and watched my heart break and heal at the same time. On the counter was a note in LaToya's handwriting. "Checked everything. House is fine. You did good, Mr. Dennis." I sat down at the table and let out a breath I didn't know I'd been holding. That evening I went to the lake cottage. It was October, too cold for swimming, but I sat on the dock and watched the sun go down over Lake Erie. Margaret and I had spent our 30th anniversary here. Christina had learned to swim off this dock when she was 6. I thought about inheritance. Not the kind you put in a trust or write in a will, but the kind you pass down through how you live, through the choices you make when everything's falling apart. Margaret used to say, "Grace without truth is permissiveness. Truth without grace is cruelty. You need both." I tried to give Christina both. Time would tell if it was enough. My phone buzzed, a text from an unknown number. "Hi, Grandpa. Mom let me use her phone. She says thank you. I say thank you too. Love, Kayla." And then another text, this one from Christina. "First therapy session tomorrow, scared but going. Thank you for not giving up on me." I typed back, "Never will, love you." I sat on that dock until the stars came out, feeling the weight of 68 years, and for the first time in a long time, feeling something else too. Hope. 2 years later, I got a call from Nathaniel, the bankruptcy attorney. The trust documents were ready. I flew to Phoenix to sign them with Travis and Hannah and a 23-year-old Christina who looked different, clearer, stronger, present. Kayla was 11 now, starting middle school, still crazy about horses. Christina had gotten a promotion at Second Chance Services. She had her own apartment, a beat-up Honda Civic, and a savings account with $3,000 she'd earned herself. "You did it," I told her before the signing. "We did it," she corrected. "I couldn't have done it alone. But you had to choose to do the work. That was all you." She signed her name as co-trustee. Her hand was steady. Afterward, we all went to dinner. Me, Christina, Travis, Hannah, and Kayla. It was awkward at first, all of us sitting around a table at a Mexican restaurant in Tempe. But Kayla made us laugh with the story about her science teacher, and Travis told a terrible dad joke, and Christina smiled, really smiled, and I thought, this is what redemption looks like. Not perfect, but real. On the flight home, I thought about what I'd learned, that forgiveness is a gift you give, but healing is work you do. That consequences and grace aren't opposites, they're partners. That sometimes the greatest act of love is refusing to save someone from themselves, but never refusing to walk beside them when they choose to save themselves. I pulled out my wallet and found a photo of Margaret, worn and creased. I'd been carrying it for 3 years. "I think we did okay," I whispered to her smile. "Not perfect, but okay." The plane pushed through clouds into sunlight, and I closed my eyes, grateful for every hard decision, every painful conversation, every moment that had brought us here. Grateful for grace and grateful for truth, both.